I will fight, I will fight, I will fight until I take my last breath. I have done nothing wrong.
Well, with Governor Blagojevich finally speaking out to proclaim his innocence and an impeachment panel back at work this week to decide his fate, there are many unanswered questions as to what he could do next or what anybody could do next.
Right. Here's political analyst Tom Seraphin. And first off, Tom, what do you think of that I will fight, fight, fight? It sounded like a college fight song.
Yes, as if I was at a high school cheerleading situation. Listen, he's got to fight, fight, fight. He's got a great attorney in Sam Adams. And remember, his other attorney, Ed Jensen, had a real spectacular case that he won in court where there was videotaped evidence of R. Kelly doing certain things to a teenager, but yet he was found innocent. So he's used to these taped situations, so the governor thinks he's well armed, and so he's going to go after it.
Does it seem a little... I would talk to some folks that were speculating that perhaps he would step aside for a brief period of time, still collect his paycheck as governor, let Pat Quinn, lieutenant governor, name that Senate seat replacement, and then he would go back to work again. But obviously, it
would make sense.
He is going to fight, fight, fight.
It makes sense, but you have to, he gives up his leverage. He's governor of the state of Illinois right now, and he's got some leverage in negotiations with either Patrick Fitzgerald, the U.S. prosecutor, or someone in Springfield during the impeachment process. When I was representing Jim Hypo, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, he stepped down as Chief Justice, hoping that would kind of mollify the people in the House impeachment panel. It did not. They went ahead with the impeachment process. Although he won that ruling, he had given up his office. So no reason to give that office up too quickly.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, how can you be an effective leader when you have no support anywhere around you?
So many distractions.
And to argue the governor's side, he thinks he has been very effective. Senior citizens ride the buses today. There's health care for children, for families. Prescription drugs, he made an effort to go in that direction. He's held the line on taxes. He hasn't raised anybody's taxes. He's been effective as far as he's concerned. People in Springfield feel just the opposite. I mean, his problem in Springfield is public opinion. But the impeachment laws say all we have to do is vote for cause. Cause is the word in Springfield. You can define cause to be anything. Right now, it's unpopular cause. Right now, he hasn't done his job cause, or he's gone around the appropriation process cause. But there's nothing illegal in the Patrick Fitzgerald sense. So he's got a lot of different ways to go.
As you know, the Obama report is coming out today or tomorrow. What are your expectations over that? Well,
over the weekend, there were some leaks that came out. The ABC News had something to the effect that it's not going to be a big deal.
That Rahm Emanuel didn't have
Rahm was involved in the conversations. Listen, Rahm should be involved, or certainly the chief of staff. Somebody from the president's side should be talking to his governor's side. Communication is going to take place. But I think some of the conversations may be embarrassing in how they are conducted, but embarrassing doesn't mean illegal or unethical. That's the case. And I was at a Christmas party over the weekend, and guys like Joe Tagish and Matt O'Malley and other guys were all yelling at the governor, saying this and that, and I'm suggesting to them, hey, give this man a chance, give him an opportunity to defend himself.
That's what he was arguing for on Friday.
I did read John Castle's article over the weekend. Did you read that?
Yes,
he calls him dead meat, governor, Blagojevich. Right. And just talking about the fact that, the one thing he raises that good point is just that on the wiretaps, the fact that he was withholding money from a children's hospital. And asking for contributions.
Right, and I think the thing that's really going to come out here is this Health Care Facilities Board that regulates hospitals in the state. It's been at the core of everything in this process. That's what's I think Patrick Fitzgerald and others are going to zero in on. Stuart Levine was part of that process. The person that really tipped the hand on all of this was the president of the hospital in Naperville, and she's the one who wore the wire, who really kind of broke this case really open to begin with.
I get the feeling we'll be sitting here talking about this 2 years from now.
Yes, for a long time.
All right, Tom Seraphin, you're going to stick around, I know, so we'll talk more about this coming up at 8:25.